So good evening, everybody. This is welcome to another session of Free to Heal, where we are formerly incarcerated, loved ones of incarcerated or formerly incarcerated children, anybody impacted by the criminal justice system. And we come together every week, and our intention is to heal the wounds and those things that were the result of mass incarceration or our experience with the system. And so this week, one of the other things, let me slow down for a second because my mind started racing. In my teaching in Folsom, the guys up there, they wanted an advanced class. They wanted to know, now that they have identified some of the unhealthy things that they do, how do they move forward from there? And one of the things I've done, and I've done it at the Francisco homes a few times, and it's to talk about some habits of good relationships. So it doesn't matter whether, one of the things I've discovered through the years in doing these sessions is that let me do that. One of the things I've discovered is that in doing sessions at the Francisco homes and other places is that um, good relationship habits apply to all relationships. It doesn't matter whether it's a friendship, whether it's family, what it is, but good relationship habits apply to all relationships. So, what I wanted to do tonight was to go through some of the habits of good relationships to help people, because oftentimes we say, I want to be a better person, I want to have better relationships, I want to do this, I want to do that. But how do I actually do it? Um, in check-in, somebody said, when problems come, I tend to shut down. Okay, so now you know that. So then the question becomes, how do I stop doing that? How do I stop doing the things that I've identified that are not in my best interest? And so building good habits in relationships is one way. These are some of the things that you can do. And what I'll do is I'm going to read some of the things. There was an article by his name was Harvey Deutschendorf. Say that 5 times real fast. Harvey Deutschendorf. And he said 7 habits we can develop to establish good relationships of all kinds. And one of them was to become a good listener. We've talked about that here on several occasions. What does being a good listener mean? Everyone wants to be heard. Many of us tend to listen to hear as much as we want to hear to be able to respond. That's a classic, right?
Or respond instead of listening to understand.
Exactly. Listening to hear and understand the other person builds their confidence and our desire to hear them. This helps with bonding. So if I feel like you're paying attention to me and you're listening to hear what I'm saying and you're not just listening to respond, it makes me feel comfortable that you're interested and that you have my interest at heart, and that you just want to hear me. At a minimum you want to hear me, you want to understand what it is that I'm saying. So, but that one point of listening, sometimes we listen to hear as much as we want so we can respond. People are good for that. That is a classic, where as soon as I hear that buzzword that I'm looking for, now I got my response ready. And now I start talking, and now I start over talking. And I'm not going to let you finish because I think I already know what you're getting ready to say. But I don't know what you're getting ready to say. So being a good listener will help to build confidence, and it helps to build bonding. Okay. Um, Ask the right questions. The best way for people to know that they have been listened to and heard, they're not always the same thing, is to repeat what we heard them say in our own words. When people know that we're making a sincere attempt to hear them, they begin to seek us out and want to spend time with us. They share more of themselves with us. Unfortunately, narcissists know this too well. They listen carefully, feedback to people what they are saying, and give the impression that they are in line with the person they are seeking. The problem is that they are only listening to gain advantage for themselves. So that's a whole mouthful, right? And I want to encourage anybody that's on Zoom and anybody in the room, please chime in and let me hear your thoughts as these things, if these things trigger anything. But it's very important to realize that yes, you want to repeat back to people. You're having a conversation and you may go, what I hear you saying is this. Am I correct in that? But if not, then the question is, what are you saying? Where did I miss it? But recognize there are some people who are only about themselves and they're like chameleons. They want to start talking the minute they think that they understand what you said and start feeding back to you what they think you're saying so that they can be in line with whatever you want to hear, what they think you want to hear. So they're going to feed you to you, but they have no intention of honoring anything that you say. They have no intention because it's only for them to gather advantage in the situation, to gather information so they know how to approach you about a particular situation. So ask the right questions. Ask a person, if you don't understand what they're saying, ask them or say to them, I don't understand. Can you explain that further? Can you tell me how this applies in this situation? These are practical steps you can take, one right after the other, practical steps you can take to make sure that you are listening and that these things build better relationships for you. Okay? Pay attention to the whole person. When people are speaking, pay attention to their body language. If it does not match with the words they're saying, there may be something more going on than what you are discussing. This will give you insight into them, and your questions and attention to them will lead to deeper conversation and lead to developing trust and stronger connections. So if you ask me, are you okay? And I go, yeah. Do I look like I'm okay to you? Yeah. Yeah, I'm all right. Or I'm going, yeah, I'm okay. I'm good. Don't worry about it. Okay. My words say I'm okay, but my body language tells a different story. Okay. If I'm talking to you about, I don't like it when you're late and then you apologize for being late. And then I'm still talking about it and going, oh, there's really something else that I'm concerned about. There's something else that I'm discussing with you that I haven't told you about. There's some underlying something there that you don't know what it is, but I'm expecting you to know. Okay. I expect you to be able to read whatever it is that I'm thinking, but I really don't want to just come out and say that. I don't want to come out and say whatever the actual issue is. And to anybody that's had this experience, it's important for you to be very clear about what it is that you want. I'm going to use this as an example. It's not reaching out for help to go on social media and post a post with a subliminal message and you think you call that reaching out for help. That's not reaching out for help. If you need help, ask a direct question to get a direct answer. A lot of people are using social media now and they're going on and they're recording and they're doing all this stuff and they're not going to the person directly to have a conversation. Social media is good for some things, but nobody knows what you're going through unless you say it specifically. If you want somebody's help, ask for it specifically. I need for you to do this. Can you help me with this? I need a place to stay. I need a job. I need $5. But you do too? Okay. So me and him, we need $5. Any of y'all got $5? I'm just telling y'all we need it, okay? But it's not okay to send subliminal messages. One thing I counsel anytime I talk to women, and this conversation comes up, I tell them, listen, men don't take hints. They don't catch a hint. If you want something from a man, just ask for it. Don't think, oh, well, he should have known what I wanted by what I told him. No, he shouldn't. No. If you didn't say specifically what I want you to take me to dinner at the Cheesecake Factory, whatever it is, just say that. Don't expect somebody to be a mind reader. Okay. But people are not going to catch a hint by you going and telling somebody else some story and they know that person. And so you assume they're going back to tell this person and that's going to get back. And miraculously, everybody knows what you need. Not going to happen.
Does that mean we're not going to get our $5?
Well, no, we just told them directly. We just told them directly that we need $5. Right, so the chances are better. Now, look, that ain't to say we're gonna get it, but at least we stand a better chance because they know we need $5. Yeah, you understand?
You think I'm joking?
I
want $5.
I want my $5.
Well, guess.
Pony it up, fellas.
Okay, listen, as my brother used to say, if everybody give a little bit, don't nobody got to give a lot. So I'm sure we can come up with the $5 some kind of way. Some kind of way it's gonna work itself out. Trust me, we'll make it work. Okay, I got 75 cents on it. You know what I'm saying? On his 5, right? Okay. So this is another thing that I think is really good. Remember things that are important to people. If you truly listen to people and pay attention to the whole person, you will see body language that gives you clues as to what is important to them. If they speak of a family member or event in their lives, see, I'm gonna tell y'all see how that worked out? We got $1 on that $5. I'm just saying, we got one. If they speak of a family member or event in their lives, I needed 5 too. In their lives, and their face lights up. Okay, if you see me talk about my grandkids, that's how I feel when I talk about them. Okay, when I see them, when they say the crazy things they say, and they do say crazy stuff, huh? Yeah, okay,
I guess they do.
So when they say crazy, it just tickles my funny bone. Okay, so you will know that I love my grandkids. Okay. So that would be it's an indication that this is important to them. Remember, the small, important things about a person builds trust in your intentions. Did you hear that? If you remember the small things that people say and the things that are important to them, it builds trust in your intentions toward the relationship, which leads me to a sidebar to say, we've talked about it before, the need to be intentional about getting into relationships. We're not intentional. I talk about it a lot in my book because this how it goes. He's so cute. Oh, she fine. Okay, and we talk on the phone, and now we've been talking on the phone for a month, and now next thing I know, you start calling me your girl. We ain't had no conversation about the fact that I got a husband somewhere. we didn't talk about none of that stuff. But now I'm your girl, okay? And now we in a relationship, and now it's been going on 6 months, and now I've invested 6 months, and it's too late to I done invested 5 years of my life with it. That's not a reason to stay in a relationship. But if you're going to get in a relationship, be intentional about getting into that relationship. And so when they're talking about remembering the things that are important to people, it shows them that you care about what they're thinking and what they want. And it helps them with your intentions in the relationship. Learn a person's love language is another important way to understand how to connect with them. There's a book, The 5 Love Languages. Check it out. It really is helpful when when you learn what their love language is. I know a girl that gifts are her love language. Now, it doesn't have to be expensive. That's not the issue for them. The issue for her is just that you gave her a gift. Oh my gosh, that's the best thing ever. Me, on the other hand, my love language is quality time. You can buy me as many things as you want, but in order for me to feel loved and really feel like you're invested in me, you got to spend time with me. So there's different people have different love languages, but that's a good book. If you've never read it, check that out. Okay. Be consistent and manage emotions. Okay. Now, I know that a lot of formerly incarcerated people have to take anger management. There's an issue. There's been some anger issues along the way. And what this author said is when we are open, people whose mood swings from hot to cold are difficult to maintain a relationship with. Particularly because one minute we laughing and joking, the next minute I know now you all mad, you serious, and I don't even know what happened. And now you flying off the handle. Nobody wants to be around a person they can't tell from minute to minute how they're going to respond. Nobody wants to be in that environment with that person. If we're able to be consistent in our behavior and moods, people know what to expect and are more comfortable being vulnerable with you. If I'm afraid that you're gonna smash on me and you're gonna scream and holler and yell every time I say something, I'm not likely to say things around you. I'm not likely to tell you that I don't like what you just did, or I'm not likely to share with you that really wasn't what I was asking you, or I'm not likely to correct you because I never know from minute to minute what's right, what's wrong, what you like, what you like. I don't know how you're going to react. And so mood swings are a huge problem. Consistency is the attribute most women I know want in the men in their lives. Be consistent. If you're gonna be here this week, be here next week. Can I count on you? If you tell me that you're gonna call, can I count that you're gonna call? If you say we're going on a date, can you not stand me up? If you stand me up, how do I have confidence that I really should spend the time and effort to get dressed and get ready to go out on a date with you when you stand me up? Sometime you come, sometime you don't. And then now you show up and I didn't get ready because I didn't believe you, and now you're mad about that. Well, what we want is consistency. Let your word mean something. Let your behavior follow your word. These are things, and like I say, remember what I said at the beginning. Good relationship habits they apply to all relationships. It's not just intimate partner relationships. So even as my friend, you can't stand me up, tell me you're gonna give me some money and don't, borrow money and don't pay me back consistently. There are certain things just being my friend that you can't do in order to retain your position as my friend. So being open and share when the time is right. When we are open about who we are and share at the appropriate time, it helps build the foundation for the relationship. If we share too much too soon, it can make the other person nervous. When listening to others, sharing a personal experience that shows an understanding without overshadowing or competing with what they're saying shows empathy and understanding. So people who I'm talking to you, I'm trying to tell you what I'm going through, trying to tell you what my problem is, and you keep going, yeah, well, you know what, that happened to me one time. And the minute I get, and you know what, the last time that happened to me, okay, and so now you don't feel heard, and all we're doing is talking about you. You've turned the whole conversation on you, as opposed to listening to what I was saying. I have a friend, and years ago I had to tell her, you know, we could talk for hours about what you want, and the minute I start talking, you go, girl, let me holler at you later. And that would be the end of the conversation. But we never did get to talk about what I want to talk about. We only talked about what she corrected herself. But I had to point it out because oftentimes people don't even realize they're doing it. They don't even realize that they're going, the minute you start talking about you and what you want to talk about, now they're talking about them. So at some point, we need to, when listening, don't overtalk. Or another place that it becomes an issue is when people are suffering grief. We tend to start talking, it's very delicate when you start talking about your experience with death and who died in your life and so on and so forth, because they may not be ready to hear that. They may not be ready to hear it. Oftentimes, if you don't know what to say when you're dealing with somebody that's grieving and lost someone, it's just be there in what we call in training that I've taken, the sacred silence. Just be quiet. Just listen. Sometimes people just want your presence and not necessarily your words. When they want advice, they want information, they'll ask for it. And so these are things, and then there's one more. Be genuine, confident, humble, trustworthy, positive, and this is my favorite, fun. Okay, can we laugh and have a good time together? Because every time I see you, I don't want to be in a heavy conversation, and it's always some drama, and you always in a crisis, and we always no,
Serious all the time.
not all the time. At some point in life, we gotta have fun. Fun is a basic need. Everybody needs to have fun at some point.
Every day.
At least once a day, even when
Yeah.
you gotta wait.
You know
You
what?
need to.
I go down to the office
Uh-huh.
and I get yelled at, and to me it's funny, you know, and I'll say something, you
Uh-huh.
know, and you a dumb bastard. Tell me, yep, sure am, you know.
Okay, but it's fun for you.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You know, I'd rather have fun with people
Yeah.
and to be really super serious. I
Yeah.
don't like super serious.
Yeah.
You know, those days are over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just, you know, if I can chuckle, I'm happy as hell.
And see, I'm like you. I'm silly as all get out. And please let me laugh. You know.
I'm super serious.
Okay. you
I believe
super
that.
serious.
I'm super serious.
Okay.
I believe that.
And we have fun with you anyway. Can you imagine?
Yeah,
You're
but
super
look
serious
at
and
the
we
looks
still
we
have
get.
fun with you.
I'm super serious.
Yeah, but look at the looks we get at from you when we do mess with you. It's like, I'll kick your ass.
Make the face. Make the face. And I only say that to say, you know, there are varying degrees of personalities, and it is what it is. What I think people who are super serious suffer from is that people think that they don't know how to have fun. I I absolutely positively know how to have fun, but on a day-to-day basis, I am a very serious person.
That Monday through Friday.
That is Monday.
And I just want to, I just want to make. Can y'all hear her? Okay. Okay. I just want to make sure.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I just say that to say, you know, there just are varying degrees.
You
There's
know what?
all of these degrees of personalities in here, but it doesn't mean that I can't have fun. I've had fun with every single solitary person in here, but on the note of a day to day, I am just a very serious person. I was born probably about 27, and by the time I was 5, I was 42, and that's just how I acted. And by the time I turned into my 20s, I was in my mind a middle-aged woman. So I'm just a serious person, but that doesn't mean that I can't have fun.
Oh yeah, because we
I
definitely
wouldn't
have
want you
we
to
definitely
keep
have
that
fun with
thought.
her. Okay, let's be
You know
clear.
that
We have had fun.
I am the best boss in
We
the
have had
world.
fun with her. Okay, so let's be clear about
I
that.
am the best boss in the world. The only problem that a person has with me is when they're full of shit.
Oh, yeah, that-
Other than that, I have a testimony of people who have worked for me that will tell you I am absolutely fair and equitable. I have fun. I make grace for people and what have you. But if you bullshit me,
Hey,
trust me, you will
Noreen.
not survive it.
Okay. Yes.
give her that dollar, because that's so much fucking.
No, she can't have my dollar. Look, I earned this dollar. I asked for the dollar and I got it. She can't have it. But listen, people that build great relationships, listen to this, feel good about themselves.
Yes.
Aha.
That is so
Aha. Right?
Yeah.
So
I love myself.
oftentimes when somebody's telling you how bad you are, usually it's more about how bad they feel about them than it is about how they feel about you or has anything to do with you.
Or they don't have the ability to control you as they want to or as such, and they try to give you that reverse narcissism. I've experienced it on quite a few different levels, but I'm very confident in who I am. Very
Yes.
confident.
And so what happens is that they say they are generally positive people who have built great relationships. The energy of people who are comfortable in their own skin, upbeat and positive, creates an atmosphere where we feel good, want to be around, and want to spend time with them. That's the opposite of the people whose mood swings every time the wind blows. You can't ever figure out whether they're going to be happy or sad in this particular moment. They don't gossip about others and keep what we tell them in confidence. Being self-confident, they don't feel the need to draw attention to themselves. They always have time for the significant others in their lives. They are lifelong learners who are always open to and looking for opportunities for self-improvement. Now, what that just described is the opposite of a narcissist. The polar opposite of a narcissist. If you ever run into narcissistic people, they're the total opposite of what that just said. They gossip all the time. They have no confidence. They always have to draw attention to themselves. They rarely have time for their significant other, only insofar as it is for their purposes. For them. They don't want to learn anything because they know everything. They already know everything. They know it all. They know everything about at all times. And they're always open to and looking for opportunities for self-improvement. Never, because they don't need to improve. They're already perfect in their minds. Okay. So the issue is, and I'll come right to the thing of it is if you want to build a good relationship, one of the first things to do is try to avoid trying to have one with a narcissist. Okay. Try not to be a narcissist. How about that? Right. Try not being narcissistic where everything is centered around what's good for you, what you think and what you want. Okay. These are ways that you can build good relationships, healthy relationships. Yes. If you want them to be healthy, you can't be narcissistic. You can't be self-centered. You can't be your mood swing every which way you go. You're not listening. All of the things that this is talking about, narcissists do the exact opposite. And there are different levels of narcissism. Some people mildly, and then it's the ones that's malignant, that's absolutely out of control with it. Right. There's some passive aggressive narcissists where they act like, but no, really what they are is they're aggressive. They are constantly,
Silent aggression.
Yes, it's that yes, a perfect description. Silent aggression. I'm not gonna tell you specifically, but I'm going to say this, or I'm going to go tell somebody something else so I can get them to come tell you, or I'm going to not show up when I say I am, or I'm gonna act like we had this conversation. Or one of the other ones, this classic is tell a lie right in the same conversation that you just contradicted. That just this statement contradicts what you just said 5 minutes ago, because they can't keep up with it, because the narcissistic personality only says what's appropriate for that moment. They don't have long-term memory. And let me share this with you. Listen, they don't know, because everything is only in a minute by minute what's appropriate for this particular moment at hand. And let me share this with you. And one of the reasons it's important to understand that behavior is this. Prison, I have found, causes people to go into a mode of self-protection, which makes sense. But what it can also do is make you narcissistic as hell. It can make you self-centered as hell, because it starts off, and this is what the opposition energy in the universe does. It'll take a good principle of self-preservation and pervert it into something that all you think about is you. So we've talked on Free to Heal before about the experience of loved ones that we go on to visit and all those different things and all of what we go through. And we don't want to tell you guys all of the trauma that we've been through just trying to get to come visit you. Okay. But oftentimes in our experience as loved ones, you have a lot of demands. Very much so. A lot of demands. You want to know why we're not doing this, why they're not sending this, why haven't they come to visit? Why? Okay. I called you at 7. Why you answer the phone? I wasn't home. Oh, right. You called. That's what it was. I wasn't there. Okay,
That's all I can tell you. I wasn't here.
because life was lifing.
Yeah, I have things to
I
do.
had somewhere to
I have
be.
things to do.
You know,
The kids had to go to football practice. So I'm sorry, I had to be at football practice. And I have to participate at football practice because that's what parents do.
Mm-hmm.
We have to talk to the kids, we have to talk to the coach. There's a lot of things you have to do at football practice, not just sit out in the car.
Right.
Like most parents would like to do.
You know, in the 36 years I was inside, I think I might have had 3 visits.
Mm-hmm.
Besides, I had a couple family visits.
Mm-hmm.
It really didn't bother me because it bothered me more when they came.
Why is that?
Because I missed them when they left. Before, I was never, but when you see them and then they leave you, then you feel like shit, so I didn't mind not getting visits.
And I'm sure there are other people who may feel the same way. But what we do know, there are so many studies that say that if people who have connection with family and stuff while they're incarcerated stand a better chance of not going back to prison once they come out. Recidivism reduces a lot when they stay in touch with family members and they have people to support them while they're incarcerated. So it's very important. But back to the point about not becoming narcissistic. Don't become entitled. Remember that anything anybody does, for anybody listening to this that might be listening while you're incarcerated, anything that anybody does for you while you're incarcerated is a gift.
Grateful.
Be grateful. Not that there are some people who took care of people and those people fall off and they don't take care of them. They spend their money and they don't take care of them. But at the same time, anything that somebody does, be grateful. The same way that you will be grateful on the street. It's important. It matters. Showing gratitude matters. And I wanna come, Chester. I'm gonna ask you to unmute and give me your thoughts on the topic.
Hold on, damn, I went out. Hold on. Can you hear me?
I can.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Me, I think it's like you just said. People should be grateful, because when you make that choice to make them bad decisions and go to prison, that's on you. We don't owe you nothing, and a lot of people are entitled. And when you can't, when a person asks somebody for something, whether it's a relative or girlfriend, and they can't do it, they have an attitude. If it was me, I'd just cut you off and let you deal with the situation, because if you're not grateful, excuse my French, but the hell with you, so.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Rufus.
I think that was it's a powerful subject that you brought up today, and it's about communication, and I feel that I think that might be my love language, shit, because it's communication, because I like to communicate. I like to know that we understand each other. You know what I mean? And it's crazy that some people that I communicate with, uh, they're not there quite. You know what I mean? And they don't believe that some things that I say, or that I'm as understanding that I am, they don't believe it. You know what I mean? They just, I don't know. That's what's difficult with me right now when it comes to communicating with some people. They just don't believe that I'm as sincere as I am about how I'm communicating, and that I understand, and that I want to understand, and that I'm listening, and that I don't want to say they don't believe that I'm listening, because I can repeat what they say, and they just don't, I don't, sometimes it seems like it's, for them, it's too good to be true, that
It
they
may
just don't
be, and that's
accept
what I
it.
was going to
You know
say
what
to
I mean?
you, is that if you have experienced people feigning like they're listening before, it is difficult to accept that somebody's actually listening. It may be because you get gunshots.
Right,
So you think, okay, but the last
right.
person they act like they were listening, but really they was just narcissistic as hell
Exactly.
and just feeding
Same
me
with
back
same
what I
person.
wanted to hear. And now he's coming off the same way, and it's too good to be true. So, but let me tell you the thing that fixes that: consistency. Because eventually they're going to see, because you're still there and you're still the same way and you're still doing what you got to do. You're still living up to your word. You're still understanding and all of that. You're still listening
Still communicating.
and still communicating, right? And they'll get the message. So just know that that's the fix for that. It's just consistency.
So his
Okay, I get it. And like one more thing, this is a beautiful topic, and it's a beautiful conversation, and it's much needed. I mean, this is good.
Well, that's good for me to hear because I want to because I'm trying to develop the curriculum for an advanced class in the prison with the men. um I want to make sure it's good to know that it's good information or good conversation from your perspective as a man to have this kind of conversation, a man who's been incarcerated, to that it will be useful for him, meaning a man who has been incarcerated, to have this kind of conversation. So that's helpful feedback for me that I'm on the right track, because what I realize is they need the how to. What are the steps? I know I need to change what I've been doing, but how do I do that?
how have I been doing?
And how have I been doing it? Right? What have I been doing? Okay, what has caused me to do those things? So now what am I? So how do I change that? And these kinds of conversations this is one of the things that occurred to me, that this would be something for them to understand. So it's good feedback for me, to make sure that I definitely will include this. So that's very helpful for me. I appreciate that. I appreciate it a lot. Appreciate that a lot. Um, Let me see, Felix. Any thoughts on the overall conversation? Are you there, Felix? Can you unmute? I know he was driving. Yeah, okay, we'll come back. Mr. Bird. Okay, go ahead and unmute for me. Okay.
You know, this is a very powerful meeting and conversation. I was just kicking back and listening to you what you were saying because I'm having the same kind of issues to a certain extent. Not all of what you were saying, but I'm gonna tell you this: as soon as I get this meeting, I'm calling my girlfriend. I'm gonna tell her about this thing because it kind of hit home to me. You know, it really did. You know, I mean, as far as the relationship wise and listening and understanding and being there for one another, you know, the main thing is listening. And when I got stuff, baby, do I listen to what you be saying? I'm gonna call as soon as I got this phone. I want to know, you know, because I want to do what's right. This
So
is a very
and let me tell you this. And listen, if you ever need the backup, I got the papers. I'll make sure they get it to you. Okay, so you can read it with her.
I need some backup.
And listen, and then also let me tell you this: she's invited to this meeting at
Okay.
any time.
Okay.
She is welcome to join at any time. Okay, just so you know. Okay.
I'm in the Frisco home. I'm one of the Frisco home, and she's way on the west side, so she gets joined in on Zoom and pop in with us.
She sure can.
I'm sure gonna have her there next week.
She sure can. And listen, we're gonna really help you out. Trust me. Why? Because those of us that have been the woman to a man like you, we got a lot of experience, and we can help her understand your crazy ass.
And you know what you were saying, what the other guy was just saying, as far as this, the packages wives that been there for us, helping us out and being grateful and stuff like that. Like I say, I've been on my girlfriend since '82. You know, and we split apart. You know what I mean? But the last 13 years, she's been in my life, sending me packages, sending me money, and I'm just like, baby, why you didn't do this? Or why, like, it hit home. That's just what y'all just saying. Because I sure was asking that, why you didn't do this? I asked you to do this. Where my package at? Well, we
Oh my gosh, wait, I gotta stop you. I asked you to do this.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
I asked you, I asked you,
Did I just act?
oh my gosh, yesterday she just, wait, come up here because he gotta hear you. So yesterday we were talking to a young guy who just came home. He did a short term. He did like 4.5, right? But she reenacted the conversation. Everything you just said, she acted it out. She had the whole thing. It was classic but comical. The whole thing. I'm telling you. And consistent.
It's a broken
record.
I mean, and it's not, it's somebody that I love, but it's my cousin. But you know, and the conversation goes just a little bit different. But when he comes in, I'm like, I got $500. So you want me to send you a package? You want me to go to Walking Horse? You want me to come and visit you? Or you want me to go take care of this? But I want you to tell me how you want me to spend this money, because it's gonna be one or the other, but it ain't gonna be. You gotta understand that I have enough powerfulness inside of me to do that. But in going to the prisons and seeing some of the women, and even riding with some of the women, I'm sitting there watching them with their multifaceted eye calculator, trying to figure out how they're gonna make it happen, because they didn't want to disappoint. And I'm like, is there something wrong with me? And it's not that it's something wrong with me. I'm gonna tell you that at some point in time you have to make these decisions and these choices. And that's where it comes, the narcissism comes in, where it takes over from what you're getting to what you want.
Yeah, and what you feel entitled to, and what you need, and what you feel entitled to. So I'm telling you, she is welcome to join. I'm so glad that this is helpful. But I'm telling you, it's awesome. It's awesome. And look, okay, because let me just say this. Because everybody was so quiet and nobody wasn't jumping in, nobody wasn't saying nothing. I'm like, okay, are they missing it? Am I missing the mark? What, you know what I'm saying? So I wasn't sure.
Sometimes you have to listen. Sometimes you have to listen. And my most famous phrase at work is, people listen to respond instead of listen to understand. So we were in the understanding mode.
Okay.
You felt like we were not there.
Okay, well that's good.
You
That's good. Okay, so they was actually doing it. Wait, wait. Okay, so wait. So this is the HR director. The HR director is speaking, y'all.
So the whole guys is listening to understand instead of listening to respond. So we were in the listening mode and we were understanding. Felt like we fell off. We didn't fall off, but you were not practicing what you were preaching. So let's practice what we preach.
Okay.
So now I stand correctified, in the words of an old pimp off of the Maury Povich show. I was correctified, and I'm so glad. And thank you, Mr. Bird. And but for real, have your girlfriend join us whenever you want.
Okay.
Okay.
She's a wonderful woman. She's very supportive.
Wonderful. That's awesome. Let me see. So I think we got everybody, and so
you were just on a roll,
and that's awesome.
And we were preaching from the pulpit. That's all that was. I mean, we do normally all bust in, chime in, and what have you, but you were preaching from the pulpit.
That's awesome.
Sometimes you need to listen to the sermon and let the choir have a
yes. That's just awesome.
Peanut gallery was
okay, yeah, the peanut gallery was in full attention mode tonight, and Free to Heal, y'all. Okay, Free to Heal. I want to give you an opportunity, Miss Tony. Any final comments from you for the night?
No, great conversation. It always leads to the next topic.
Wonderful. You, Miss Di?
Good conversation always is.
Wonderful. Miss Ward?
So the 5 love languages, there can be opposite ones, because there can be hate languages too.
Ooh wee.
Yeah.
Oh damn. Okay, so now that's it. See, now she done opened up a whole nother thing now.
A man can love me, but he beats me.
Oh, wow, right,
But
okay.
I love you, baby, but it's just you not right, and you gotta be like I want you to be.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, it could be an opposite on each one of those.
Wow, that's awesome. That's really powerful. Okay, she came through this. She burned it. Did she? Any particular comments from you on the topic?
Eat the cake. I'm listening to what she just said. That's strong. That was
Isn't that something?
Cake, Adam May.
Okay. Any final comments from you, Ben? Wonderful. From you, sir.
They're a bunch of gaggling hens. I'm telling you right now.
So we cackling hens, but guess what? We can't get rid of him though. That's the one thing we can't do. We could be a whole lot of things, but we can't get rid of him. So I just want to say again, welcome. Thank you guys for being here for another great session of Free to Heal. Thank you for participating. You can check us out on YouTube. When you guys go back and look at some of the old videos because we've talked about some great topics, okay? And go back and look at them, make comments, refer your friends to look at them. You can check us out on all the social media sites. I'm not even gonna bother naming all of them, but we hope that you will come back again next week and join us again on Free to Heal. And we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, you picked it right.
Bye.